Hello guys, I'm doing this on the fly. I wanted to do a YouTube short, but I guess I have too many words to say. Even though I want to say something really as quick as possible. I watched the quick critique of Danganronpa's Three Masterminds by Prozxia, who I think I'm subscribed to. I should be. And talking about Junko Enoshima, Izuru Kamakura. Spoilers for all the masterminds of Danganronpa, but Junko Enoshima, Izuru Kamakura, and Tsumugi Shirogane, and why they're bad masterminds, and I partially agree. I especially agree with Junko and Izuru, and most of Tsumugi. And just in addition, I do want to add that Junko Enoshima is a pretty bad antagonist, especially considering she has six equally prominent personalities, so it doesn't feel like there's a main Junko to go off of. It feels like slapstick putting together different personalities and boom, that's the character and nothing else. While Izuru Kamakura doesn't get much spotlight at all, and except for being, as very timid, so there's not much personality to go off of, and except for contrasting it to Hajime, but I'll get beyond that. And Tsumugi Shirogane, what I specifically wanted to talk about is my spin on it. His spin is that Tsumugi Shirogane was discontent with Team Danganronpa's creation of the previous Danganronpa killing games, and so decided to become the mastermind herself and create her own killing game. My spin on it, on why Tsumugi has to be so boring and so plain, is it implies... give me a minute to sit down properly. It's like, I'll get to it. First, I'll explain that Tsumugi Shirogane is incredibly boring and basically has no personality, other than kind of being in love with Gonta, ? Other than that, and being friends with Himiko towards the end, ? Other than that, and being the person who does all the references. Beyond that, she's a very boring personality who's super boring throughout the whole game, and only at the second half of the final trial does she actually show any personality of any sort and prove that she has a normal and quite bombastic personality when she wants to. And I think this might sound pretentious, but I smell a whiff of anti-capitalist critique here. Sorry, I'm college-brained. So, somebody who isn't allowed to show any bit of their real personality because that's what their job requires. That's what Tsumugi's job requires. It's the secret mastermind or co-mastermind or whatever. And only towards the end, only after she knows she's going to die, only after she knows she's going to be executed does she actually show that she has a personality, that she is a person with any character. And, I think you guys can fill in the rest of the gaps on how that would be an anti-capitalist or smell like anti-capitalist ideas there. But anyways, I do agree that Tsumugi is a bad antagonist and very boring. One compliment, though, is that Tsumugi does the multi-personality thing a little better, because after she shows her more bombastic personality, after her reveal as the mastermind, her being performative and meta and snarky and preachy and, all the bad things a villain would do after her mastermind reveal, she has the main personality of Tsumugi, the more extroverted, more outwardly, the more extroverted Tsumugi that we finally get to see. And then there's all these other mini personalities of her cosplaying as all the other characters, but those other characters still tie into the main Tsumugi personality, whereas Junko, her main personality is about equal to, if not less prominent than all her other personalities, and it just feels like because of that, there's no Junko at all. The sequel kind of fixes this a little bit, makes her main personality a little stronger than all the others, so there's a clear Junko right at the center, and I think Tsumugi improved on that by, with the cosplaying, ironically, that she has all these multiple personalities and, all these different characters And not only that, but, you know, within Tsumugi herself, she pretends to be completely evil and obsessed with despair when all she's doing is just trying to make it entertaining, right? That, you know, that's the core Tsumugi, the one who's just there trying to make it entertaining. And then all the other stuff is just little mini personalities, but at the core, Tsumugi has a core personality. And anyways, that's everything I wanted to say. I'm sorry. I said it would be short, and this has been, I thought it would be less than a minute, and now it's 5.5 minutes. I apologize. But, you know, I mostly agree with Prozxia. I just wanted to add something that I was thinking about the games. So, that's it.